Jennie Laabs was always a vibrant young individual, but when she was just 15, one tragic afternoon threatened to forever shatter her spirit.
I was walking home from work and I was taking my normal path, but at a different time than most. I was on the phone with a few of my friends and we were just talking. I wasn't paying attention, which I should have been, but I was walking home. I was almost out from underneath the bike path bridges, and that's when a man came up and attacked me. And he put a knife to my neck, and I started screaming, and the last things my friends heard was, "If you don't shut up, I'm gonna kill you."
Jennie desperately tried to fight back and escape her attacker, but to no avail.
And he wrapped the headset cord that I was using around my neck and started strangling me to the point where I saw a white light that everyone says you see before death. But he stopped eventually, and I took a big gasp of air, and I got back on my feet, and that's where he pushed me down. And that was the point where he threw me down, told me to take off my pants, and he eventually raped me.
After violently raping and nearly killing her, Jennie's attacker left the scene, and a terrified, wounded Jennie ran for help.
I ran up towards back to my house to these apartments, and there were people, construction workers working on behind the apartments, and I'd run to them for help, and one man ran to go see if he could find the man that had raped me, and the other man stayed with me until the ambulance came and my mom and my neighbor. I was taken to the hospital to where they had done the complete rape kit on me, taken thousands of pictures, and introduced me to the Crime Victims Agency.
Following the tragic evening, Jennie, desolate and fearful, struggled to cope with the emotional pain.
Yes, I was contemplating suicide more than once, but then I finally realized that if I left my mother, my friends and family that were there caring for me throughout the whole process, it would hurt them more than I was hurting at that point in time. And
ultimately, it was her strong support system of family, friends, and her crime victims advocate that helped Jennie recover from the traumatic experience. But as her scars were gradually healing, Jennie was faced with yet another challenge.
Going to court, most nerve-wracking time of my life. But when I had to testify, it was really hard for me. The night before, I almost said, I can't do this. I don't want to be able to see this man again. But then I sat there and I was like, I can't let this happen to someone else. If I don't go, then he'll get off the hook. So I had to go and had to tell my story.
Determined to prevent her attacker from victimizing anyone else, Jennie put on a brave face.
Well, Jennie came to me last year and said, I'm going to be gone, I'm going to be missing some classes, and I assumed she was going on a family vacation. And so she wanted to know what her homework was going to be. And I said, hey, what's going on? Where are you going? And she then proceeded to explain that she was going to be in court and told me her story. It really hit me by surprise because she didn't carry herself that she was going through such a traumatic time. She was her bubbly, normal, good-natured self, and so when she shared the story with me, I couldn't believe that she was going through such a traumatic time in her life, but still carrying such a positive attitude.
In the end, Jennie's efforts were successful. Her attacker was sent to prison without the chance of parole.
Because he was a level 3 sex offender and that had victimized 2 other girls in the past, in which he won't ever see the light of day again, which is a great feeling for me.
With her attacker behind bars, some of Jennie's anguish has subsided. However, the memory of the horrific experience still lingers.
Sometimes it can be hard. Sometimes I overwhelm myself, and that's when I have to go to one of my friends or my mom or anyone to just let it all out. Sometimes it's a good cry, sometimes it's just screaming at the top of my lungs. And either way, I get through it still.
She takes all things in stride and deals with them very well. She surrounds herself by positive people. She knows how to deal with her emotions and also let things out when she needs to let them out.
Blogging has been a source of emotional release for Jennie and a means to share her story.
So I made a video just talking about some of the randomest things, like my favorite color is purple, to a very important thing was that I was raped and almost killed at the age of 15. And throughout the process of making it, it was almost like a healing process, just being able to share my story to more than one person. It relieves me. The more people I tell, it seems like the less pain that I'm having to live with. Because for me, just holding it inside and not expressing what I feel and what had happened to me, it almost eats away at your soul.
Jennie recognizes that the support she received from her family, friends, and crime victims advocate was invaluable in helping her get through her traumatic ordeal. Now, driven by her experience, Jennie plans to help other crime victims heal by becoming a crime victims advocate and motivational speaker.
The ability to talk about a story that is so personal and so traumatic and use it to help people, I think is a big thing. And she's a teenager. I mean, most teenagers aren't this eloquent and aren't this determined to make her bad situation a speaking situation and a positive situation in her life. The great thing about teenagers is their energy and their drive and their view of the world. And the fortunate thing is we have surrounded us in this Beat the Odds with the conquerors, those kids who are going to get out there and do the things that they've set their minds to. And I think that definitely Jennie is going to conquer life.
To me, now my highest point is every day of my life, because it's almost as a gift from God that I'm still here and I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.